No microphone. Ah, there is a microphone. Good. All right. Uh, Learning new technologies here. So if you hear me, no microphone, that's me testing it. For it. So, talking about go back into the shadow. What is that going to be? At the beginning of the day, you're not going to feel it as much. You already maybe have this tendencies like, yeah, there is something goes on. I gotta dig in. I have to look within my shadow. I have to look within this. But that energy is going to rise up throughout the day. It's going to be talking about during the day that midday is going to be not that much intense. But in the afternoon, there's going to be this energy of coming up. And then that energy is going to be just rising up on the horizon. And that's going to be at 11 o'clock. Um, Personally suggesting you right away go to bed at 10. Hopefully taking that advices. People who's been taking that advices, I got a great input out of it. So this energy is at 11 o'clock is going to be very intense because that energy is the moon is going to be at Scorpio. So here we have a Venus and Mars squaring and a Pluto in there that it's they're going to be at the lowest point, which is they're going to be in the underworld in a way. And right here we have a Taurus, which is that's what the Jupiter and Uranus is. And the midheaven it's going to be at Leo. That's me, and you're going to be working of growing up. But where are you growing up? When the things are not good, things are not there, when things are this balance in there. And that balance of a Libra that you were looking at the last 2 days, now that balance is going to be tested. What did you learn? What is it? The things that you need to polish? What are the things that you need to put together? And this is why Scorpio is the highest octane of Libra. After this balance is in there, you're looking at what else is not in balance. And the only way you can look at it is in your shadow. It is in that underworld. And you're going to be feeling that energy throughout the day. But most important is don't take this shadow towards other people. Okay. The moon have a tendency, specifically, we're talking about this energy of Scorpio is like the Scorpio, yeah, it's not me, it's always the other side for it, and that is a that Scorpio Taurus energy. And the Taurus is like, I haven't done anything. I was just sitting here getting in my grass. And the Scorpio is just like, yeah, right. Things are the way they are going to be. And my personal suggestions to you is learn what you have within yourself. So now I want to shift you on a side up here. By the way, I'm happy that we're doing it this live. So you guys, if you have any questions or concerns, they can comes in and pops up for it. And we're looking at the map, looking at this chart at 7 o'clock. That is, and there we go. So what happens 7 o'clock? The midheaven. It's at Sag. You're gonna be looking at this intense energy with specifically with Neptune in there. That's going to be like, what is it going on? Why I don't see? Why I'm not looking? Why I'm not getting at all this? And the synchronized energies of the moon just walked in. Basically, she's in the first degrees of Scorpio. That is it, 2 degrees of Scorpio. She's going to be squaring the almost 1 degree in 12 minutes, Pluto. The what I have not changed, what I have not transformed. And that energy is going to be coming up to you. You're going to be looking at that energy. Just to remind you that the divine energies from Venus and Lilith and the North Node currently they are still divine energies. That is it, the help of the shadow that it comes in to help the love to find itself. Mars and Venus begin to kind of like as they moving ahead more in there, they're going to be disengaged of this squaring, but the Mars is still more within because Jupiter it is at 11 degrees 12 minutes and Mars is at 12 degrees 22 minutes. Venus is at 15 degrees 37 minutes. They're still squaring both Jupiter and Uranus. You may gonna feel yucky about this energy, but that's what this is. But in a good tone is that Mars and Venus looking at that North Node. They're looking at for the future. They're looking at for that to begin in there because it's in areas. But personally, they have to make the choice personally, not in there. So personally, you have to make the choice, but then the choice it's coming in when you unify those energies within you. Interesting, interesting times that are been. And talking about later on at 8 o'clock, midheaven it's gonna be at Capricorn, of course, 8 o'clock. Where are you at? You're at work. What do you do? You doing your work, and you're gonna be looking your emotions. The moon it's gonna be this beautiful trines with the Pisces energies begins to go in there. It is about I need to learn, I need to find authority, and I need to find the communications for that growth that I need. And the whole this part of the midheaven that it's going to be at 8 o'clock is like I need to communicate right beyond the limitations, beyond these fears, beyond anything that I have. I need to go beyond the mysteries. And that is going to be the Scorpio Pisces, positive and trines in there. Scorpio presents the underworld, where the Pisces represents the mysteries that are surrounding with creation. And now you're looking at within a boat is like who created the underworld? What I'm doing at the underworld? I need to find these mysteries. What is it that going on? And this is going to be a very good positive synchronizing energies because Jupiter is involved with the midheaven and the moon that is it together with the sun, Mercury, and Saturn, which is they're basically traveling together. Saturn is at 9 degrees, the sun is at 10, Mercury is at 11. They're basically packed together. Too many packs, too many things are going on. But this time, talking about at 8 o'clock, Chiron is going to be together with the North Node. You're going to be looking at the depth. You're going to be seeing it on the horizon that there is something you need to do. And that something is one thing, your Mars in Venus. You're being looking at for this new thing in there that you gotta have. You're gonna look at your relationship in a totally new way. All right, talking about the next hour. And the horizon is going to be rising Uranus in there, and the midheaven it's still going to be at Capricorn. Lilith is at Virgo, and that is going to be this beautiful trine of support. You are looking at this Virgo Lilith that she's trying very much to resolve this karma that it's had in there. It's kind of like it's helping you out to see it what it needs to be fixed, and that energy is with Mars and Venus in the positive way that it's going to be driving yourself into this darkness, but together you're going through. In the negative way, that's going to be I don't want it, I don't need it, and you put yourself down and you say the person's fault, that's their fault, or and so on. You find an outside view reasons for this. And that energy of outside of reasons from you, it's not going to help you to grow. And that's what this energy from Uranus and Jupiter is squaring Mars and Venus. And since Uranus is the one who is in charge of what's happening in Aquarius, that critical energies is in there at the moment. It's like the universe tells you, oh, not going that way. Here is what the way you should go. You need to fix something. You need to heal something. You need to work out something that is out there in the mystery world. Yep, it is what it is. So, talking about the next hour, midheaven is going to be getting into Aquarius. Things getting a little bit more challenging now because that squares the moon at Scorpio. Of course, whatever's going on at either of these signs, we're talking about Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus right now, affects Aquarius in there. And you're gonna feel this intense pressures at this time, but you see that okay, it's a pressure, but it's the good way. It is the good way because the ascendant right now it's very beautifully trining Mars and Venus. It's the same time trining the North Node in Chiron. It's like go ahead, do it through the tough times. You're tested. Go ahead and do what you have to do to rise up. This new energies that it's coming into you. That new energy is like, okay, fix this, heal this Lilith within you, heal these energies in there, and then you're gonna find out what you're made of. Talking about 11 o'clock, which is that's gonna be the next hour. The midheaven is still gonna be in Aquarius. It's kind of like it's gonna be joining Venus in its own way, but the ascendant that is in Gemini, it's gonna be trining the moon because the ascendant it's at the very end of Gemini, and it's going to be trining the moon that it's in Scorpio. And this is one of those energies of this time that the ascendant is going to be like use the friendshipness. Now you can use the friendshipness to heal everything, to clear situations, to clear stuff, and so on, or you can use it for different purposes. Or just use your friendshipness like just to gain something, to do something. But over the time, that does not happening very well. And some of the visions is going to be blocked at that time. You're not going to be able to see something. You're not going to be able to understand something at this point because where the moon is going into the underworld. She's squaring Pluto and she's going to beginning to opposing Jupiter. Lack of the growth determines it what you need to transform. But once you look at it, what you need to transform is like, oh my God, this is too hard. This is too heavy. Nothing is easy. Growth is not easy. And seeing it in the next hour, beautiful energy. I mean, the ascendant is at Cancer, powerful. The most energy that's going to be concentrate, that's going to be Saturn, Mercury, and the Sun. This is the growth. This is the authority. This is this power, this intuitions, these emotions. Some of you maybe even get emotionally at this situations. Overall, the energy is going to be great. Overall, just looking at that energy at noon, talking about this energy is going to be just great. Okay, great. Particularly maybe like at lunch, you're taking a time, you go out for a walk and you find this beautiful, beautiful streets, or during a lunchtime, you go out and you'll just find this nice environment, this like a family environment. A lot of emotions is in there for in the world. Now, in the next hour, which is that's going to be at 1 o'clock, the ascendant still at Cancer, but this time it's going to be trinic midheaven and Neptune in there. And at the same time, it's sextiling Uranus. Uranus is still supporting Lilith. This is like a God said, like to Lilith, you know what? I'm going to give you support and the chances you to regain your path to heaven. But in order to do that, you have to go ahead and do this path here. So some of you may be going to feel some one of these energies within you. Talking about this energy right now at 2 o'clock. Pay attention to that energy. Okay. because that energy at 2 o'clock is going to be important. That is the ascendant. That is going to be at 2 degrees of Leo. It's opposing Pluto, and it squares the moon. So this is going to be the squaring energies in there. That's going to remind you of the areas and the needs you need to transform and change. But if you don't want to change, you're like that stubborn kid that is just like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to go up. I don't want to do this. I don't. Ah. Yeah, well, the universe and the evolution says otherwise, and you're maturing anyway. And for those people who are still so much stubborn, here we go. These energies of 3 o'clock, it's going to be intense. Why? The moon, it is opposing Jupiter. The ascendant that is at pretty much at the mid of Leo, it is opposing Mars and Venus. That squares in Jupiter. That squares the moon. And now all your emotions is going like, OMG, what am I supposed to do? Focus what you need to do. And what you need to do is going to determine it to tell you your relationship between feminine and masculine energies. There is nothing else will work. You will see that these energies that it's coming in right now is all connecting with the North Node and Chiron. But Chiron is what? The wounded healer. Your wounds, they're telling you, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, and don't repeat it anymore. That's how it's healed once and for all. It's not like keep going and healing and healing and healing. But guess what? Most of the people, what they did in there is like they constantly work on their healing, but they put attentions to what they heal. And when they put the attentions to what they healed, they never healed. And now wondering what happens in there. It's also it's applied the other thing. When somebody is needed to be healed, and you go ahead and help them, and then you don't receive your energies back, you give them energies, and you didn't get it back. And now what happened is you gotta get depleted. And this is the other lesson of that Chiron with the North Node to pay more attention to that energies that you are putting out there. Mhm. All right, talking about the next hour, the storm is over. You kind of like a calm down. There is a divine energy. So with Neptune, you grow, you understand, like, okay, fine, I gotta grow, I gotta mature, I have to go what I need to do. I need to take more wise situations inside of me. Meet cabinets together with Jupiter, focus on your growth. And that growth is leading to where? Mercury, Sun, and Saturn. You have to have a mature conversations in order to have your mature growth, learning, and you to put their authority as a mature personality. And you're like, Dio, isn't that too much? No, it's not. That's what the energies are calling for. And when the energies are calling for, one way or another, you're gonna feel it. How you gonna act or react in there? It's important to you and nobody else. Okay. So just don't escalate situations, guys. Don't escalate situations. Okay. And you're gonna feel if you did the right things, the energies in the next hour, which is that gonna be at 5 o'clock, you're gonna be feeling great. Okay. You're satisfied in there. Midheaven, it's in a good positions. The ascendant goes into to Virgo. Beautiful, beautiful energies together, even with the moon on that time. But that energy of the Virgo right now, it's opposing Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury. You don't like that. You don't like when the from above they tell you here you're healing this, but you need to heal yourself, and it's like I don't like it. Oh well, you have to do it because healed personality, it's healing other people. As a heal people, heal people. All right, talking about the next hour, the ascendant is right. Lilith, the midheaven is a mid Gemini. That is the duality all over the place. But through duality, you find the things and the solutions. But if you choosing the one of the duality, then you begin the fights. And the fights, they're going to be very interesting, good and authority. And here I'm going to add that note again. Don't escalate something that does not need it. Okay? Does not need it. If it's something that needs to be talked, act as a mature personality. Some of you is not going to choose that path. Always been that way, even though I giving you kind of like a this energy, but some of you is not going to choose that path. And in the next hour at 7 p.m., as that energy, as I said, in the afternoon, it's going to be rising up. The midheaven, it's going to be squaring Neptune, and at the same time, it's going to be squaring the ascendant. There is this energies between the moon and Jupiter, but currently the moon begins to have squaring towards Mars and Venus. Man, that intuition doesn't like what Mars and Venus is up to. And the heaviness part of Mars and Venus right now situations is like we're trying to move it up. We're trying to pull it up. We're trying to fix in this. And there is these blocks, these roads, these fights in there. And all of a sudden, this energy of the moon is coming in and tells you, like, yeah, I'm going to give you this block because you need to look in your shadow. And you're like, how many times I need to look into my shadow? And the intuition said, as many as it needs to. This is going to be interesting for some of you. In the next hour, hi, Zukov. Thank you so much for being here. And talking about this hour at 8 o'clock, the energies is going to be more emotionally. Some of you may be going to get very deep within the emotions. I mean, if you need to cry, you need to understand crying is healing. Okay. The midheaven that's going to be at Cancer, there is a divine energies there that's going to be with Pluto. You understand this is divine transformations from yourself. Ascendant, though, it's in the first degrees of Libra, that it's helping directly towards Mars and Venus for it, but still, uh, this energies for that, it's going to be asking again. It's about the balance with you. Because if you haven't found the balance within the past shows you what you need to balance within yourself. And talking about exactly that in the next hour, which is that's going to be at 9 o'clock, that energy is going to be coming in. It's going to call and says like, well, the family things are not okay. This energies on the earth is not okay. The love in the relationship between Mars and Venus is not okay. And you're wondering what you should do. Well, get the Mars and Venus together. That's what you need to do. Because the South Node, it's trine Mars and Venus. Mars and Venus, they are sextiling the North Node. So whatever happened in the past, go ahead and achieve it for a better future to come. Right? Because everything else is just going to be supporting that. Because the same way these energies of the South Node towards Mars and Venus and going into the North Node, we have the same situations of the moon that it's in Scorpio. It's trining Saturn, the Sun, and Mercury, and that energy, okay, it goes into Jupiter. Time to grow. Stop acting like a small kid. Stop playing small. And you see it how the shadow comes in within you what you need to do. For some of you, this is going to be a very emotional situation, could be. For some of you, that's going to be you seeing out the limitations. You may stay in your limitations, isn't there, like staying into the shadow, but staying in the shadow doesn't get you to the light. You have to go through the tunnel. You have to go through the rabbit hole. And for some of you, don't like that rabbit hole. I don't like the either, but it is what it is. If you have to go to, I have to go to. If you have to go to, please keep walking. That's the only way to get out. Of course, after you get out of the hole, you're not going to be the same person. There's going to be some change, but that change is probably for good. Because why did you end up in there in the first place? Everything has its reasons. Oh boy, that here is it's that 10 o'clock energy that comes in. The midheaven, it's at Leo. Talked about this energies earlier in there. The ascendant now, it's helping. That energy is not that heavy, but we have that cross. Okay. We have that cross of non-movable zodiac sign. Like they are not moving. Once I decide, I not move. So here is the energy of Taurus. I don't like you, you dead. Leo, I don't like you, I will eat you. Scorpio, I don't like you, I will. And here is Aquarius. I don't like you, you don't evolve, evolution is gonna get you. I don't have to do it for you. At least that's a little bit more smarter, but it's worst case scenario. All for it. And that energy is gonna come in and get you. That energy is gonna come and get you. But in that case, you're going to be seeing it, all these options that you have. And what is the options you're going to choose is going to be entirely up to you. It's a lot of red in here. And that lot of red stays red at 11 o'clock. And talking about the ascendant is going to be with the moon. Midheaven is at 21, almost 22 degrees of Leo. That it's squaring Uranus, that it's at 19 degrees and opposing Venus and Mars, which is they are 12 degrees and 16 degrees. But the effect it's going to begin a little bit earlier, talking about like 10:30ish in there. That energy is going to be kind of like a boiling itself out. And once you're getting in that energy is going to be asking you again, look at your shadow, unite your feminine, masculine energies, and then go and talk, have these mature conversations. And that's how you're going to grow. Otherwise, this is what you get, that intense energy that you have to get out. Please, that intense energies, work them out. If you cannot work them out, at least don't get escalated within you. Because these energies, the way I see them, can trigger some a very, let me be clear and straightforward, guys, that can put you in the state of the dark night of the soul. Yes, they are powerful. Jupiter is opposing Moon and Scorpio. That's where your emotions are. You're not happy with yourself. You did something bad within yourself, or you're blaming other people because they have nothing to do with you. Oof, that's where that trigger is going to be. Especially is about love. Okay, especially is about love. And that's what I'm going to be leaving you with this for it. Hopefully, this is gonna be helping you out, guys. Um, for you, if you guys have some any questions, you may ask him right now. If not, let's share the love and the light. But keep positive, keep walking. You are doing something new. Okay, you are focused there in that north node of areas. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. Be love, guys. Just be love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.